My ex-wife called asking to be my +1 to our son's wedding since he didn't invite her. 6 years ago, my daughter was 12. She came home early from soccer practice and caught my wife with another man in our bedroom. She didn't say anything to them, just closed the door and went to her brother's room. He was 14 at the time. She told him what she saw. He went downstairs and verified it himself. Then they both sat in his room until I got home from work. The second I walked through the door, they pulled me aside. My daughter was shaking. My son kept clenching his fists. They told me everything. I went upstairs and confirmed it. She didn't even try to deny it, just started crying and saying it didn't mean anything. I filed for divorce the next week. During the custody hearing, both kids told the judge they wanted to stay with me. The court gave me primary custody. She got 1 week per month. She moved in with him 2 weeks after the divorce finalized. For the next 6 years, I kept all communication with her strictly business. Coordinate pickup times, split school expenses, nothing personal. About a month after she moved out, she called me angry, said the kids were giving her hell during her custody week, refusing to talk to her, staying in their rooms, making things difficult. She demanded I talk to them. I sat them both down that night and asked if it was true. They both admitted they didn't want to stay at her place, didn't want to be around him. I explained that I understood, but it would be easier for everyone if they just stayed civil until they turned 18. That way we wouldn't have to go back to court and make things messier. I told them I wasn't asking them to forgive her, just to keep the peace. They both agreed. After that conversation, I never got another complaint from her. I assumed they'd worked it out, that they were being polite during custody visits and just counting down until they could choose for themselves. My son turned 18 2 years ago. He moved back in with me full-time and started college. He'd still drop by her place occasionally to see his sister during her custody weeks. He graduated last spring and got engaged to his girlfriend of 3 years. My daughter turned 18 last summer. She moved back in with me immediately. Yesterday, my ex-wife called me for the first time in months. She was already crying when I answered. She said our son didn't invite her to his wedding. The invitations went out last week and hers never came. Then she admitted something I didn't know. Our son hasn't spoken to her in over a year. He stopped visiting during his sister's custody weeks around the time he turned 19. She also said my daughter stopped answering her calls the day she turned 18, blocked her number, won't respond to texts. She started sobbing harder and asked if I would bring her as my +1 to the wedding so she could at least see her son get married. I told her if our son didn't invite her, that wasn't my place to override his decision. She lost it, started screaming that I turned them against her, that I poisoned them, that she was going to take me back to court and make me fix this. I said there's no custody agreement left to fight over. They're both adults now. They make their own choices. Then I hung up. That night I sat down with both of them, asked directly if they'd cut contact with their mother. They both said yes. I told them they didn't have to do that for my sake, that I still recognized she was their mother and they shouldn't feel obligated to choose sides. My son looked at me and said, "We're not doing this for you, Dad. We planned this when we were kids. We decided the day we caught her that we'd wait until we turned 18 and then we'd be done." My daughter nodded. She said, "Mom destroyed our family. We don't want her in our lives." I asked if they were sure, reminded them she'd be at graduations, future weddings, grandkids someday. My son said she won't be at my wedding. She's not meeting my kids. I'm done. I told them I supported whatever decision they made as adults. This morning my sister called. She'd somehow heard about the wedding situation. She said my son was being cruel and unfair, that I needed to make him invite his mother. I said he's 20 years old. I'm not making him do anything. She said a mother has a right to see her son get married regardless of what happened. I asked her if a mother has a right to cheat on her family. She hung up on me. The wedding is in 8 weeks.